The Sorcerer of Dreadmoor, Chapter 1. The Rise of Malegar the Black. For years, the kingdom of Eldoria had known peace under the watchful rule of King Aldred, and the unwavering leadership of Lord Commander Mandorallen. But peace is never eternal. Whispers carried on the wind spoke of dark forces stirring in the ruined towers of Dreadmoor, a forsaken land where no light touched the earth and no bird dared to sing. It was said that a sorcerer of immense power, Malegar the Black, had returned from the abyss, wielding magic not seen since the days of the ancient wars. Then came the storms. Great clouds of unnatural darkness covered the skies. Crops withered, and rivers ran black with poison. Strange creatures, twisted by Malegar's magic, prowled the countryside, attacking villages under the cover of night. And then came the message. A single raven, black as midnight, arrived at the royal court, carrying a scroll of human skin. The words burned into the parchment read, "Surrender Eldoria to me, or I will turn your cities to dust and your people to ash. I will be king. Your gods will kneel before my might." It, signed in blood, M. Malegar the Black. There was only one answer to such a threat. Chapter 2. The King's Sword. King Aldred summoned Mandorallen to the throne room. The warrior knelt before his king, clad in battle-worn armor, his hand resting on the hilt of his trusted blade. "You have defended this realm from beasts, assassins, and warlords," Aldred said gravely. "But this is no ordinary foe. You will need more than steel and courage to face him." The king turned to a great pedestal, where a sword, a relic of the first kings, rested beneath glass. Its blade shimmered with runes of ancient power, its hilt forged from celestial silver. The king's sword. This blade was crafted in an age before time, Aldred said, lifting the weapon and presenting it to Mandorallen. "It was wielded by heroes long before us, meant only for the one who would stand against the darkness." Mandorallen accepted the sword, feeling an unnatural warmth in its grip. The runes along its edge glowed, as if sensing its new master. "I will not fail you, my king," Mandorallen vowed. "I will ride forth and bring an end to this nightmare." Chapter 3. The Battle of Dreadmoor. Mandorallen rode at the head of Eldoria's army, 2,000 strong, to the desolate lands of Dreadmoor. The skies were black as ink, and the land itself seemed cursed trees twisted like skeletal hands, and the air was thick with whispers of the dead. Then Malegar appeared. He stood atop the ruined towers of Dreadmoor, cloaked in tattered robes of darkness. His eyes burned like dying stars, and in his hands he held a staff crackling with void energy. "You are fools to come here," Malegar's voice thundered, shaking the very earth. "Bow before me, and I may grant you a merciful death." Mandorallen raised the king's sword high. "I bow to no tyrant." The battle began. Malegar unleashed his sorcery, summoning legions of shadow-born warriors, ghoulish knights with blackened steel and eyeless helms. The army of Eldoria clashed against them in a storm of steel and death, but for every enemy slain, another rose in its place. Mandorallen knew there was only one way to end this. Chapter 4. The Duel of Legends. He charged through the battlefield, cutting down Malegar's minions as he climbed the steps of the ruined tower. The wizard awaited him at the summit, standing upon a platform of stone that overlooked the raging battle below. "So, you come to die alone," Malegar sneered. Mandorallen gripped his sword tighter. "You speak too much for a man about to fall." With a furious cry, Mandorallen lunged. The king's sword met Malegar's staff in a clash of raw power. The sorcerer summoned chains of dark magic, seeking to ensnare the warrior, but Mandorallen's blade cut through them like parchment. Malegar struck with a blast of arcane fire, sending Mandorallen skidding across the stone. The knight gritted his teeth and stood, his armor smoking. "You are strong," Malegar admitted, "but I am eternal." He raised his staff, summoning a vortex of swirling shadows. The tower trembled, and the sky itself seemed to crack. Mandorallen knew he had one chance. Channeling every ounce of will, he gripped the king's sword with both hands and charged. The runes blazed with golden light as he swung with all his might. The blade met Malegar's staff and shattered it. The sorcerer's scream tore through the heavens as raw magic erupted from his broken weapon. Darkness recoiled, and Malegar's body twisted, his form disintegrating in a blinding explosion of holy fire. The shadows lifted, the sky cleared. the battle was over. Chapter 5. The Making of a Legend. Mandorallen descended from the ruins as the first rays of dawn illuminated Dreadmoor. The soldiers of Eldoria, bloodied but victorious, dropped to their knees in reverence. He had done the impossible. When he returned to the capital, the people of Eldoria lined the streets, cheering his name. King Aldred himself met him upon the palace steps, pride shining in his eyes. "You have not only saved this kingdom," the king declared, "but you have become its greatest champion. From this day forth, your name will echo through the ages." And so, the legend of Sir Mandorallen, the Slayer of Malegar, was born. But many knew, in their hearts, that this was not the end of his story, only the beginning. Conclusion. The end. For now, and yet there's still more to come.